welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. So today on our journey from the south of France to sunny Spain, I wanted to talk to you about to improve your driving skills in ETS2. Obviously I drive trucks in real life as well, so all I want to do is give you the benefits of my experience from the real world, and how you can bring that experience to the game. So first and foremost, physics, big thing. When you're moving something that's big and heavy, take your time. If you rush around and you try and take these roundabouts at 80 kilometers an hour, you're going over. Okay, trucks are not meant to corner that fast, and yeah, it can be fun thinking, oh, how quickly can I get it to corner? You got to think about your load in real life. When you get to your tipping point, wherever it is that your drop is, and you're about to get tipped, which is a lorry driver slang for unloaded, right? Then if you turn up there and you've been going around the bends at 50 mile an hour, 80 kilometers an hour, however you want to break it down, right? It doesn't really matter how well stacked the pallets are, they're going over, and when that happens you've got to spend a lot of time cleaning up, which is not good for anyone. Okay, so think about your load, think about what you're carrying, where you're going with it, what you're doing with it, because it's your responsibility to get it there safely at the end of the day. Now, probably there are things outside of your control. People can pull out of junctions suddenly in front of you. I've had it before, I've had a pallet go over because a twat in a white van, and it's always a twat in a white van, pulled out in front of me at a roundabout. Literally, I had no room. I literally had to slam on the anchors. Obviously the force of the truck going forwards, then coming to a sudden stop, caused a pallet to rock backwards and forwards because it was the last one on the back of the truck, and it went over because it was quite a highly stacked pallet. It was a pallet of toilet paper. So before anyone goes, oh, you should have got them straps, it was straps with internal straps because the pallet weighed less than 400 kilos, which means by law I didn't have to have a strap on it, but that's besides the point. When you are in these situations, things will happen that are outside of your control, but then I've also seen in my very first lorry driving job, it wasn't me, thankfully it was another lad, he'd been going too fast, round about in a rigid, and he had a pallet of bolognese sauce go over, and the whole load bed was full of bolognese sauce. You literally have to come back to the yard, have all the other pallets taken off, that were still on there, and he literally had to spend the rest of the day sweeping it out. And he was taken off with runs for the rest of the week for that, and just put on a dog's body around the yard, sweeping up, making tea, just trade. And also as well, in real life. 2 seconds. Let's move. This is another thing as well. If you need to move over and change lanes, try and plan it, but as far ahead in advance as you can. However, you're not always going to get that chance. But if you have a clear gap and you're moving into that lane, remember the traffic that's already in that lane has right of way over you, not the other way around. Because I think some people forget that as well. So remember that. But then also make sure that you're planning ahead. Planning ahead is key, because you're in something that might move slowly, but it also stops slowly. You know, when you're fully freighted in the UK, you could be 44 tons. So you've got to be prepared. You know, we can all. That's the other thing as well, is obviously the attack and everything else. So that comes to another point of mine, which is about improving driving and stuff, is planning your brakes, planning your rest stops, making sure you're stopping. You know, you've got somewhere to stop on your journey, because if you go past a rest stop, there might not be one for a good while, and then you've got a problem, because if you've got fatigue simulation turned on in the game, then once you go past a certain point, the driver begins to doze, which is natural for real life, and then you will start to wander across lanes. Then you have a problem, because once you do that, it's a big issue, because you can't control the truck. It will not let you. Fuck's sake. This is what I mean about planning things, because that knobhead in the convertible was crawling along. See, this is another thing, right? So again, planning. You've got cruise control radar, which kind of, you know, oh, it's great. It runs up close to the car in front. It doesn't actually, but anyway, the point is that yeah, you get idiots like that who speed up and slow down all of the time. Now, we desperately need a rest. We're not going to make it to a fuel stop, but there is a rest point by this toll booth, so we're going to pull in and stop here for the night. It's not ideal. No one likes doing it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's an alternative, because we are now out of time. So we've gone over our drive time, which obviously that's not something you want to do. It happens in real life. I've had it happen to me. If it does happen, don't panic. Just do a printout. Just do a printout and you write on the back why you've gone over, because you have to look for somewhere safe to stop. Granted, you do need to pull in at the first available safe place to stop. You can't go, oh, I don't want to stop at that services because their showers are shit, but there's one that's another 10 minutes up the road, I'll stop there. No, you have to stop at the first available safe place if you are out of drive time. If you've got enough drive time to get there, go for it. But if not, don't. Right, so we've now stopped. So you can see we can get our rest in now. Okay, so we get ready to move. So ideally that was kind of a bit of poor planning from us, because we should have planned for a better place to stop. We could have filled up with fuel saved having to do another stop. But as it is, we'll have to do another stop now. But that just is what it is, you know. We're not going to lose sleep over it. The most important thing is being safe. We all live to go home. But anyway, how to start driving like a pro. So, plan your trips, plan your braking points, turning speed, think about your load. The most important thing is thinking about that load. Think about that load on the back of your truck. The more violent you are when you're driving, the more your load's going to get bashed around. And in haulage, in real life, trust is everything. If people can't trust you to get the load there, they won't use you. So, you know, your business is over before it begins. So you need to make sure that you build up trust. And you do that by being safe and consistent with your driving. You know, anybody can say, oh, I went around that roundabout 50, good for you, man. What have you achieved? Nothing. So, I wouldn't read too much into it. He's going a bit slowly. I like it. Obviously there was an obstacle on the side of the road, but anyway. Other tips for improving your driving. So, if in doubt, just get out. In real life, if you weren't sure of how much room you have, don't rely on the cameras that are on your vehicle. Get out, go and have a look, because there could be stuff low level that you don't see. I'll give you a prime example, because even cameras have blind spots, right? My one and only accident that I've had in an HGV, I was turning around in London in a rigid, an 18-ton rigid. I was in southeast London, horrible type. I just delivered to an indoor football place. It was a load of energy drinks. I just delivered to an indoor football place, and I was turning around to come out of there and go off to my last drop, which was at Canary Wharf, which is an also absolute bastard of a place to deliver to. If you know, you know. Right. Anyway, so I've seen a little area as an entrance to an underground garage that I thought, oh, that's perfect. I can reverse into the opening for that, and I can turn around there. Yeah, basically do a 3-point zone. Now, I initially saw the little like metal pole that had the intercom on it before I started my manoeuvre. But when I reversed back, couldn't see it in the cameras. So I thought, oh, I must have cleared it. Nope. Turns out I didn't. Turns out I backed into it, bent the pole, smashed the intercom thing to buggery. The guy come running out, the security guard, stop, you don't. I was like, mate, just relax. So I pulled forward off of the pole, and obviously, yeah, they got out to start taking photos. He's coming out, you repairs, because that's going to cost someone money. So you need to start caring as well. Dear, I'm tired this morning. Apologise. But yeah, other tips. So obviously visibility, making sure you can see, making sure you're seeing, make sure your lights are on. Okay, it sounds stupid, but and obvious, but you'd be surprised. But also as well, like if like me, you don't have a head tracker, you constantly don't want to swivel the mouse left to right to check that mirror. Just use your F2 switch and have the opposite side mirror on in the top right hand corner, just so you can see what's going on that side of the truck. I do it. Obviously, if I get a head tracker, then I will obviously turn that off, because then I can just glance like I would in real life. But yeah, just make sure you do something like that. But yeah, you just got to be smooth as well. Like, you know, scrub off that speed in plenty of time, so you're not having to anchor off. Just glide in, coast it in. That way, then, if you need to stop, you can stop. Suddenly, if you need to, like that, because I had no room to get out, and he just became anyway. Forward planning, I would have seen the truck coming from the right and anticipated that he was going to do that. So can't moan about that. It's fairly obvious what was going to happen. So again, you've got to think about also as well your route. Your route is key. So obviously your sat nav in the game is going to try and take you places. Obviously, if you have the diversion thing turned on, where you might get an accident when the road's closed or whatever, then you have to use the map to get you out of trouble. Now, here's the interesting thing. I have found on several occasions that when you have those incidents turned on, whatever frequency they occur in, right, when they occur, sometimes there's not always a route around them. And I think one happened in one of my videos where I went on a break, like slept overnight, was still there the next morning, and there was no other way around it, so I literally just had to basically go around the obstacles that were there. I don't know why my voice is so croaky this morning, it's very irritating, I do apologise. But yeah, so you do that. So again, look for an alternative path around, but if there isn't one, you may have to go through it. Obviously in real life there will always be an alternative route around. It's very different. But do not follow the sat nav blindly. Stick to the main roads wherever you possibly can. Look out for weight limits then went straight back across the roundabout, reversed back across it dead straight to, whoa, thinking about that, there's been a bit of a bump there. Moving, you fucking idiot. Anyway, I went straight back across the roundabout, and then managed to get the truck turned around and out of the village. Didn't panic. I didn't pay any attention to the idiots outside that were shouting and screaming. It's like, I'm aware that I've gone into your village. I don't want to be here any more than you don't want me here. I'm trying to get out of here, so if you can shut the fuck up and get out of my way, I will do exactly that. I didn't say that to him. I didn't get out of the cab because I didn't need to, and I didn't open the windows. I didn't engage. Don't engage when people are being like that. Honestly, best thing you can do, ignore it. Just get on with the job. Get on with the task at hand. If you engage with morons like that, right, all you'll get is wound up yourself. All you'll do is get wound up yourself. I'm going to pull in here and get some more fuel. You'll get wound up yourself, and it won't do you any favours, right? So if you do miss your turning, don't panic. Look for a roundabout. Look for a safe place to turn around and go back the other way. And it's the same in this game. You know, it will happen. You'll be looking for somewhere and you'll go, ah, it was there. I need to change those wheel nuts so they don't look right. But anyway, you get the point, right? As I said, the important thing is don't panic. Also as well, on this game, the biggest hint or tip I can give you to driving better, treat the AI like they are stupid, because they are. They will do the most stupid things in this game. It will baffle you and you'll think, how is that even possible? And it will happen. So if they're going to pull out of a junction, some of them will just not stop. Particularly in Nordic Horizons, I've noticed that the AI has got painfully bad, to a point now where they don't stop the junctions, they just go sailing through. So watch out if you are driving around up there, because they will just go sailing through it, and it's a real problem when they do. So yeah, just be mindful of that, because yeah, you don't want them to have to do that. to get better at Euro Truck Simulator, and that is why. Because I'm working. But yeah, so also as well, try and use the auto booths. It's a lot easier than stop starting. But just remember to keep your speed relatively low when you go through them. Don't try and go flying through them, because the barrier won't react quickly enough, and you'll go ploughing into it, and it just damages your truck, damages your load, and you just have a bad day, and it's not worth it. So don't do it. That's the only piece of advice I can give there. But yeah, as a rule of thumb, this game should be enjoyable for you. Right? When it stops being fun, then you're going to stop playing it. Right? I've put probably 3,000-4,000 hours into this game. now, so we've still got 300 kilometres to go. Well, it's going to be tight, you know. I know I've still got another 17 hours, but rest-wise, going to need to get another break in soon, so get out the way, because see, the AI don't stop, they just pull out. Now, in situations like that, you would be told to, you know, slam on the brakes, and, well, the reality is in situations like that, no, in real life, those trucks don't have right of way over you. Letting them in is a courtesy, not something that you absolutely have to do. So just bear that in mind. Right, I'm going to pull in here because we need to have a rest anyway, so might as well pull in here. Surprised this isn't a rap song, but anyway, let's just pull in. We don't need fuel or AdBlue, so we'll just pull up next to this guy. Annoy the fuck out of him because he's probably asleep and we're a fridge pulling in, so that'll annoy him. That will happen in real life, just so you know. Right, let's get some rest. I forgot we had our little kitty in the truck. Right, let's get going. So we're only a short way now outside of our final drop-off point. So we'll go and get this load tipped. But hopefully you found this video useful insofar as instant tips for basically becoming a pro and getting better at it. Obviously as well, one of the things I will say is if you're struggling with reversing, right, just practice. Just practice. Look at, if you've got trailers that have got 3 axles on the back, the middle axle is your pivot axle. So whenever you want to manoeuvre the trailer around anything, once that thing. Nearly caught me right out, that did. Let's do the window down. Always helps me find stuff. Don't know why, it just does. Coming up to the roundabout, so getting slowed down. We don't have to stop, so we keep going. Watch out for the old bill. ETS2 sounds, and you'll see his gun road sign. Just go to his gun road page. They are paid for mods. They're not mega money, but so worth it. They just really improve the realism of the game, in my opinion. Right, it's getting slowed down now. So we're coming up to our destination. Again, slow it down nice and early. That delivery truck will probably be coming all the way around. Yep, it is. But we have plenty of time to get out in front of him, so we're okay. He just looks like he's going to sit on this roundabout all right, because he's already been round it once. Here we are, we're going immediately right here, so just get it in. Car pulling out there, so we're just going to be mindful when turning in. There we go. Just to get that axle around that corner. Here we go. See what bay we're on. Looks like we're on that bay. Okay. Try and bend this trailer around the other one. So you start putting the turn on and take it off, then put it on. Right, now we're watching that middle axle. Watch that middle axle. Right, we're around the trailer now, so keep straightening her up a little bit. You don't want to run it too close to the other trailer, so we're going to run it over towards that wall now. And then we put the bend back on, try and push it around that trailer now, see? Just very slowly. You want to be slow moving with fast hands. Right now, you can see this has gone on the wonk now, so what we need to do now is take a shunt, try and straighten up. There we go. Once you're straight, it's then a case of just going straight back. And there you have it. And that's what you do when you're reversing. Just keep it nice and straight, nice and smooth, nice and steady. If you have to take a shunt, then take a shunt. It's not a big issue. Anyway, that's me for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And stay tuned to the channel for some more fun and exciting content for ETS2. Thanks very much for watching.